live at the Eko Club Surulere, where the Ibile Eko Summit Group is set to host its first colloquium as part of its efforts to sensitize the indigenous Lagosian society on strategies towards the socio-cultural advancement of the state. And as always, Eko blog is right here to give you the synopsis of this conference. I am Joy Udo. To stay with us.
The strength and growth of a people as a nation solely depends on unity. No doubt, the unified standards of Lagosians has continuously built the state and make her stand as one. Like it is said, a threefold cord cannot easily be broken. This belief has established the people in coming together as one to birth a group known as Ibile Eko. People of Ibile Eko, who are compound of people with diverse faces but one voice, has come together to host the colloquium for 2021 tagged Strategic Planning of Socio-Cultural Development of Lagos and Regional Agenda, an Indigenous Perspective. With distinguished entities seated at the summit, which held on Saturday, 30th of October 2021, guests of various caliber were called to share knowledge on the theme of the 2021 meeting, which happens to be the first the group would ever host. Among these guests are Professor Fola Tayo, who is a senior lecturer at Caleb University, Mr. Shupo Shashere, who is a former Lagos State Attorney General, Dr. Olawale Lawal, a senior lecturer at Lagos State University, Ojo, Professor Adele Jinodu, who delivered a keynote address online. Ibile Eko Summit had in attendance the indigenous and prestigious people of Lagos, who had the aim of preferring viable contributions towards elevating the socio-cultural landscape of the state. As a way to commence the summit, reverence and honor was given to the country via the rendition of the national anthem. Afterwards, Prince Adelani Adeniji Adele took to the podium to welcome each and everyone present at the program. He further established the purpose of the gathering as he was able to shed light on the vision and mission of Ibile Eko.
I want to pay due respect to all our traditional rulers here. We all know my mother is there. Gbogbo wọn bá Èkó elélú níyàwó wa ẹ pẹ́ fún wa mọ̀ a máa rí ń bá ẹni kánjú lọ. Mo dẹ̀ also want to pay homage to all our traditional rulers here. Olódùmarè á gbé gbogbo wa o. Thank you for coming. I would not fail to recognize our lost spiritual present, children of Lagos. God bless you, sir. Ibile Eko, in our own view, is an ethnic group. You'll be surprised. You will think that we're trying to differentiate ourselves, really, from the larger Yorubas of the ethnic group. Because we revert our ethnogenesis. Ethnogenesis means when various cultures meet together and they start the beginning of another ethnic group. We have history of over 400 years ago. You will get to know this. And if you move along with us, over time, from now henceforth, you are going to know the interconnectivity between Lagos and Badagry, Lagos and Ikorodu, Lagos and Ikeja, Lagos and Ekpe. And I can tell you, there is no division in the state that we don't have an art mix. That's why I said we are a different breed. And we want to just know we're speaking out.
While guests speak, attendees could be seen paying rapt attention to the teachings which were elucidated by the invited guests. Points jotted, questions and answers treated, opinion and contributions made. All of this made the summit not just successful, but also a will-granted desire. Erelu of Lagos, Chief Abiola Dosumu, in her voice to the growth of Lagos while speaking to newsmen about the Ibile Eko Group, stated the need for inclusiveness of everyone as a need to grow the state and maintain its standards.
Well, strategic planning for Lagos. I hope you realize that we're not just here to talk about the strategic planning for the development of Lagos. We are talking about inclusiveness in the development of Lagos, of the indigenous peoples of Lagos. I think that is what, I hope I got it right, that's what this is all about. And I think for it to be holistic, what we are advancing is that the landlord of a house knows all the nooks and corners, knows all the aspirations, know all the where the shoes are pinching and all that, and therefore it should be included in the planning and in the process of development. And I'm sure a lot of you also know that really those people who are here, who have nowhere to go, are really not in the thick of the scheme of things. And which is a pity, because you have a lot of them, like Professor Adele Jinodu, with an awesome profile, that we have a lot of competent people who are indigenous people who should be part of the planning to make it holistic, to make it robust, to make it, possible, and to be able to be all-encompassing. So that is really what the Ibile Group, the Ibile Summit is trying to achieve. That's what I'm saying, that we shouldn't throw the baby away with the bathwater. We have been fighting, subsequent governments have been fighting for special status, special recognition. If it's not important, we will not be fighting for it. But because it's not been actualized, that's why, again, it's giving birth to the Ibile Summit, to continue to canvass this aspiration that we believe we deserve, and it will all be to the glory of God and the progress of Nigeria, not just Lagos as a state or as a kingdom, but for the greater progress of Nigeria. We have made progress into the beginnings of Nigeria. We have made progress into its development to what it is. We are still making progress because Lagos, whatever you say, with its population, with its diversity, still remains a very peaceful, loving, progressive state. So you must give kudos to the indigenous people who could have become a nucleus of like we have in other states, and continue to foment a problem. Because you see, you find that majority are caught between the affluent areas of Ikoyi and the lagoon. So they have nowhere to go other than either come in this way by force or drown themselves in the lagoon. But we don't have such unrest. So we need to look inward and try to provide for such people so that they don't turn into a menace in future. Because you see, the world is developing. People are more enlightened every day. And the goodness and the peaceful nature of our ancestors, of course, will continue to dwindle. We don't want a situation where some of them will turn into terrorists, miscreants, or people who will disturb the peace, the beautiful peace that we all enjoy in Lagos. That's why we're saying, drawing attention to it, and say, please don't continue with the neglect of the indigenous people of Lagos.
In reference to the history of Lagos and the happenings of the past, a chief mentioned how it helped building Lagos and in strengthening the development. He also narrated the establishment of the state and why it is necessary to eradicate the thought and belief that Lagos belongs to no man.